this isn't me saying that DMZ is a stupid game mode, it's dumb, blah, blah, blah. It just is me saying, hey, I think there's an issue with this game mode and I don't see where they're going with it. Now, I love this game mode. I'll still play it tomorrow, even though I'm making this video, and it's mostly just to get this off my chest and to maybe talk to you guys and be like, am I taking crazy pills? Like, am I overthinking it maybe? But like, I just don't see where they're going with this game mode. So listen, in the comments down below, I would love to hear your 2 cents on everything I say here. If you agree, awesome. If you disagree, awesome. I want to hear your feedback, please, please, please. That's what's so important about this video, is feedback and hearing what other people have to say about this game mode, or what their expectations are at least. So listen, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep making DMZ content because, again, I love the game mode. So if you like DMZ like I do, let's hope for the best. Let's stay positive. Like this video is all about, is staying positive, but at the same time we have to question and we just have to have an open discussion about it. So hey, subscribe to the channel, it's free for you guys, means the world to me. Let's get going on this. The biggest thing season 2 did add was a new map, Ashika Island. Okay, awesome. A new map that was made for Resurgence, but let's be honest, they were like, okay, let's get this in DMZ, and I'm cool with that. A new map is awesome, but we didn't really need a new map. What we really needed was new mechanics, and we didn't see any of that in season 2, and that's one of the biggest issues and gripes I really have with the DMZ, to be honest, is the last big change, you know, gameplay wise that we saw was a perk system that got added in season 1 Reloaded, and guess what? It doesn't work, and it still doesn't work to this day right now. And it's awesome, the idea about that, right? Like, I didn't see that coming. I really liked the thought process on it. Was it something new and unique, and now there's like a reason to really want to do quests, or sorry, I should say like contracts, and then extract and have a streak of this. Awesome. But the fact that it's still broken is insane. But the other thing is, season 2 was a wipe. This was the perfect time for them to bring back those people that tried DMZ season 1, didn't really enjoy it, and maybe give it another shot at season 2. And okay, they were supposed to fix the crashing, which they did. Hey, I'll give them that. It does crash here and there, but nothing crazy for me, at least. They were supposed to fix AI. Guess what? They did the opposite. They made them so crazy, it was insane. So they failed on that one. They were supposed to fix spawn points. They did. They're still kind of okay, but they're better than they were last season. And the other thing is mission difficulty, which awesome. They fixed the missions. I think they changed a couple of things around. Also added the crown, which is an added bonus for people that bought the game. I liked all this stuff. But they kind of also shot themselves in the foot, and this is where I'm going to go in depth on the biggest thing that is missing from the DMZ is definitely those RPG mechanics that make an extract royale, right? So my biggest gripe, I would say, was the insured weapon slots. Now, just hear me out before you start freaking out, but I felt like the insured weapons were going to be kind of like they were in season 1, right? Where it was 2 hours, 4 hours, and 6 hour cooldown for your guns. And yeah, you could lessen that cooldown by taking things into the dead drop and making the timer lower, but it felt right, I would say, the 2 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour, right? Nowadays, though, in season 2, they changed it to 1 hour, 2 hour, and 3 hour. And I get it, more people now are going to be playing with their insured weapons, especially because the dead drops can now accept random guns, and guess what? Every random gun you put in a dead drop is 8 minutes off that cooldown timer. So yeah, in a sense, I get that it's cool that a lot more people can play with their insured weapons in DMZ, but what I wanted was that the contraband weapons play a little bit more of a bigger part in the DMZ itself. And what I mean by that is I was hoping they were going to add attachments all strewn across DMZ itself, on Al Mazrah, on Ashika Island, and you have to extract with them, and then you can use these attachments on your contraband weapons. So if you don't want to go in with your insured gun because maybe you only have a tier 2 vest and you don't want to chance it, you can make a gun that you wouldn't usually use. You'd make this fun little Frankenstein gun, and it's interesting, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that, you know, this isn't actually a bad build. Now I really enjoy this build, and maybe I'll use it as an insured item later on because I just stumbled upon this build and it's like, okay, this is pretty fire actually. I really like it. I think that's what the best thing about extract royales are, is you don't always use your preferred kit or loadout, and you still, you know, get the job done with what's in front of you, and you feel super accomplished because of that. But maybe they are trying to do their own thing, right? They are Call of Duty, so they want to add their own flair to it. They want to make, you know, Extract Royale their own. Okay, I'm definitely all for that. But the missions they have in this game, is this what's going to bring people back season 3, 4, 5? Like, what's going to bring people back every single season? I don't think it's the missions. It's going to be the missions plus something, and this unique experience you can only get in the DMZ and not in Warzone itself. And, you know, the biggest thing a lot of people talk about is adding a crafting system. Even I talk about it because I think, like, there's over like 30 random items like light bulb screwdrivers that are just strewn across Al Mazrah and Ashika Island that really are only for these certain fetch quests that afterwards they're just useless to you. So, okay, we have a crafting system. Say they add that. Is there anything that you find yourself being like, wow, it's so rare to find A, B, or C aside from maybe a blowtorch or other fetch quest items? You know, you never are like, wow, a tier 3 armor, I never see one of those, or a tier 3 backpack, I never see one of those. They're actually pretty easy to find, and this is where they could say balance things out, change the balancing, and maybe they make tier 3 armor and backpacks more rare. But I don't think they're going that way with the game mode. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. So I don't see crafting being a very useful thing to us, because what will you want to do instead of collecting, say, 6 of one item, then 4, and then 1 of another item to craft a tier 3 armor? Wouldn't it just be easier for you to just go in raid and either get $35,000, buy it from a buy station, or find it in an orange crate? I don't know. Like, I'm just lost at where the direction is. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see the perk system coming in season 1 Reloaded, and that's why I still am staying positive about this game mode, because there are a lot smarter people that are working at Infinity Ward and Raven Software, and they have thought about this game mode and thought about it for the past year and trying to expand on it. So I have faith. I just don't see the forest through the trees right now. I really don't. But the last thing I want to talk about before we end this video is I want to talk about them separating Warzone and DMZ itself. When you download Warzone, you still get DMZ with it. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is trying to make the mechanics fit for both Warzone and DMZ. I think they should be both separate. And if you want to tinker with, you know, the mechanics of one, it doesn't mean it has to go into the other. I get that it might be confusing if people want to play Warzone and DMZ together all the time, but like, they'll get used to it, right? I'm going to take this for example. I'm pretty sure the reason they made it so that, you know, your lethals don't auto equip anymore, and more importantly, your self revives don't equip anymore, was because of Warzone people spamming it and collecting a bunch of self revives constantly. So they wanted to negate that by you having to equip it manually. I don't think it was a problem in the DMZ. I really don't. And all the feedback that I got when that happened was people were really mad in the DMZ community about it. It just didn't make sense. And again, this has to go with like them trying to make both modes the exact same, so that if you go from one to the other, they're identical. And I get why they want that, but at the same time, we eventually just gotta throw our hands up and say, you know what, it just doesn't make sense for this game mode, or it doesn't make sense for this game mode. And maybe the community will just be happier if we just leave it out, like AI in Warzone. No one wants that. No one wants AI in Warzone. And no one that I've heard playing it at least says, oh, I really love the depth of them adding AI now. Like, no one said that. So I think they should just separate it. And I'm not saying to like really change the core mechanics, but little things, right? Like gas mask auto equipping or self revives auto equipping. I don't see a harm in that. Now, this video was me just ranting and just trying to get things off my chest so that I can talk to you, the community, and we can discuss it and you know, be hopefully adults and see if you can see a different perspective than I can, because that's what I like doing. I really do like reading your comments and just, you know, pondering the way other people think about the game, because I'm not always right. So listen, I really appreciate you guys just watching this video. I know it was just a a pretty much just me ranting and saying my 2 cents, but I hope it kind of makes sense, and maybe you guys can shed some light on certain things that, you know, I'm maybe, you know, got my head in the sand with, you know, maybe I don't know. Either way, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hey, I'm going to continue making DMZ video until they, like, you know, really ruin this mode by, you know, not adding anything in season 4 or 5. I'm still sticking with it. I love this mode. I'm having a lot of fun. The community's been nothing but amazing. So thank you guys. Hey, subscribe to the channel. It's free for you guys. It does mean the world to me. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later.